Angela would have to take me with her, and you know, she would cut out of school or be smoking in the schoolyard, and then I would go home. Of course, I was 6 years younger than her, and I would tell my mother, Angela's smoking.
And listen, not everybody's going to agree with my decision. I can give a fuck less. You're in that position, it's you who got to face it, then you do what you need to do.
Little Changolini, he gets to the jail and
steal cars from Maryland and take them to Delaware to a chop shop.
The inside prison in Thailand, as well as what Victor Malarek, the reporter, did to get me out of there.
You know, and I sat down and thought about it for the longest time, okay? But once I made up my mind, it was about survival. I need to take care of my kids and take care of my family. And when a guy's not being loyal to you, how could you be loyal to him?
Welcome to Chattin with Staxx. Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got a message from Mr. Anthony Luciano Salvatore Raimondi, and the message is for you guys. I'm going to play that for you guys in a minute. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. There's a lot of things going on in the news and throughout the country, a lot of crazy different stories. Huge stories. If you guys don't know, what's up, Dub, to come up, Christopher, Bernard, Carol, how are you? If you guys haven't heard the news stories that are out right now, the internet is in a frenzy over this picture of Donald Trump and Joey Merlino. And they're trying to insinuate that he had ends with the Philly guys or something. I don't know. I have no clue. But Maureen, how are you? Shout out to you. Gianni, what's up? How are you? Thank you, everyone who's joining me today. I really appreciate you. There's so many different stories I gotta go over. Where should I start? So, let's start with so wow, this is much. Like, really, I can't make this stuff up, people. I really can't. Oh man, like, what are people thinking? Like that. That's a major one I want to know. What are you thinking? All right, here, let me change the background for you guys so you know what we're talking about. It's going to be a good one. All right. Oh, shit. Bam. So we have an officer who was fired from her job recently for fornicating with other officers. The whole department. And on top of it, she got caught in the act. On top of it, her husband's taking her back. Her husband's took her back. And they're making things work, you know, because he loves her. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And, you know, love makes you do crazy things. I really don't know what to say. Steve, what's up, man? How are you? Tammy, how are you? Cindy, Maureen, Steve. This is too funny. So let's get into the story, shall we? All right. Tennessee cops, including a married female officer, fired after repeated wild sex romps. Oh, man. A small Tennessee police station has been rocked by allegations of wild sex misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had a steamy romp with 6 male officers. They're shown right here, some of them officers. So she was with 6 officers, male officers, including illicit on-duty officer Megan Hall and her fellow law officers allegedly engaged in wild sexcapades that including sending dirty pictures, taking off her top, girls gone wild, hot tub party, and even having oral sex with 2 officers at the Venge, Tennessee police station. The steamy shenanigans in which Hall alleged bragged about the size of one partner's genitalia and claimed to be in an open marriage not only led Hall to be canned from her job, but led to the firing of Sergeant Lewis Powell, Officer Juan Lugo, Sergeant Ty McGowan, Detective Cynthia Shields, according to December internal investigation. 2 other officers allegedly had romps with Hall, Patrick Malaco, and Larry Holiday. They kept their jobs but wound up suspended, according to the reports. These tisks took place at hotel parties, in other officers' houses, and on a boat, while Hall was also accused of performing oral sex on Powell and Shields while on duty at the police station and the police gym on December 28th. Internal reports show officer began looking into the sweeping personal lives among erroneous officers when LaVerge Mayor Jason Cole received a tip about Hall was sleeping with several fellow cops and had a threesome with Maglino and his wife, among other claims. Honestly, I think this chick needs she needs an STD test, this chick. 100%, man. Like, wow. She's all over the place. Hand up, leg ups, everything. She just don't care. When asked about the tip, the police officer admitted to having sex with Hall on numerous occasions, the report said. He told investigators that Hall had told him about Powell's big black blank. They claim she performed a sex act on him while the pair were on the clock. Maglico also said he had seen Hall and Holiday kiss while watching football at a party. And he said Hall had kissed his own wife, Amy, after learning they had an open marriage, according to documents. The officer said Hall's husband saw the kiss and told other officers Cockhold really wasn't on board with his wife having threesomes with Maglinko. She said she continued to have a relationship with him. Let me show you a quick picture of because it gets good. I gotta at least show you this picture. Okay, here he is with his award. There you go. So you could get some visual on this. Now, let's get back to the story ahead. When questioned, Powell later denied that he had had sexual encounter with Hall, but he said everybody knows she has multiple partners. And Holiday McGowan to investigators. So he's one of the rats. He's one of the police rats. After being caught lying about being at the gym with Hall, Powell admitted to the tisk during a follow-up interview. Powell was then involved in a domestic dispute with his wife, who he then told investigators beat the shit out of me, adding that he would most likely have lost his children after the spurned woman learned of the affair. Holiday admitted under questioning to having sex with Hall multiple times, and McGowan revealed that he had once went to Hall's house with another female and exposed his genitals. After initially denying having sexual relationship with Powell and Maglinko, Hall later copped to the affair and also admitted to having sex with Longo at a motel after they had met at a go-kart center, a charge that Longo initially denied before caving under the second investigation, or the second interrogation. Under questioning, Shields said, I had never had sex with Megan Hall until she had performing oral sex on him while on duty when pressed. And let me show you guys a picture of her posing for the camera. Nice smiling face. You know, she's not ashamed. She is not ashamed. I don't think she's ashamed at all. She was doing what she wanted to do. Basically, yeah. It's what, but it's not over. All right, Maglinko also noted that he had become concerned about Hall's mental health and heavy drinking and driving. The officer said Hall had once pulled the trigger on an empty gun pointed at her temple so she could hear what it sounded like, and said she was suffering from mental illness. The oft-mentioned event in the report was a Memorial Day party at a bathhouse owned by another member of the department, to which other officers had brought their children. At one point during the party, an intoxicated Hall reportedly being force-fed vodka by Maglinko in the hot tub, at which time her top came off and other cops stopped the former officer from drinking and helped her cover up to protect her from, according to Durham's account. This is Officer Durham. Let me show you what he looks like so you can get the whole story. Here's Officer Durham. Pretty wild. Let's get back to it. Longo, Powell, and Shields were also dismissed for violating police procedure and lying during the investigation, along with McGowan, who had been witness to choking an HR employee. Holiday, Maglinko, and a patrol officer, Gowan, were subpoenaed in connection with the probe, officials said. HR Director Andrew Patton, who authorized the report and conducted the investigation, sanctioned 8 officers with various penalties for sexual activity while on duty, several harassment conduct, unbecoming an officer, and lying during the course of an investigation. It is further revealed that Hall and many male officers had shared lewd text messages and pornographic images of themselves. Pornography and offensive pictures in the workplace are forms of sexual harassment. These are items of offense, inappropriate, and can lead to a hostile work environment for their employees, the report said. So there you have it, folks. That is the story of Officer Hall, who went to work and did them all. I don't know what else to say. But let me get to some of these comments. Got 71. Shout out to everybody in the house, man. I appreciate you. Could really make a cop donut joke, but I won't. That's funny, man. Was it against her will? Not at all. It was her will. I mean, it was her will. She was pressing the issue. Maddie, what's up, man? Steve, how are you? Gianni, what's up? Maureen, how are you? Carol. Bill, what's up, man? Open marriage. She forgot to tell her husband that. Yeah, I guess he was really upset when all this was coming out in the public. And I guess he forgave her. And publicly, this is their public photo. Right here on the right. That's their public I forgive you photo. You know what a cuckold is? That's this guy. If you guys have ever been to prison, there's a guy named Jody, okay? And this guy named Jody, if you have a significant other, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, this guy Jody, he's at your house while you're locked up. He's using your phone. He's laying in your bed. He's eating your food. His name is Jody. And regardless if you never meet this guy or you never even find out about him, just know if you went to prison, Jody most likely was at your house. Because I know when I went to prison, he was at my house. So he's definitely at you guys' house too. And I'm like, no, that would never happen. Back then, I had a naive mind, you know? So when I went to prison, I'm like, that would never happen. No way, no way, no way. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? And it was my good friend. And it's just how it goes, I guess. Dude, I guess Zay's doing good. I guess people are going to the police department and they are bringing like weird things, like pictures of her saying, where is she? I want to ride the train and things like that. And the police officers at this department are like fed up with the shit because it's nonstop. You guys know how the trolls are. Come on. So it's nonstop on these police officers. It's kind of funny. Open marriage. What do you expect? Right? What's up, Tammy? How are you? She looked fresh-faced and innocent. Guess what? Those are the worst ones. Fresh-faced, innocent. They look just like this. Oh, yeah. Right there. Little sweet, innocent thing. Give me them all. I want them all. Wow. Crazy. All right, let's get to the next story, shall we? Got a lot of stuff to cover in a little time. But we're going to make it happen. Let's get to the Raimondi stuff, okay? Because I know you guys are waiting for that. Raimondi. Mr. Anthony Salvatore Luciano Raimondi hit me up. And he gave me a message to give to you guys. And I recorded that message, and I'm going to play it for you now. So before I do that, make sure you guys hit the like button. Damn, she banged all of them. She banged all of them and more. Not just all of them on the picture. About 5 more. About 5 more on top of all these guys. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 11. 11. So you take her picture off the left, add 5, 6 more. Then it's about right. Then the numbers are about right. But yeah, there's some other officers that aren't pictured. Here they are right here. Here's a few of them. As I was just saying, here's the rest of them. Really, man, this is crazy. Now, my question to you guys is, what would you do if that was your wife or significant other? What would you do if that was your wife and she got caught in this big scandal at work? What would be your reaction? I want to know. So put it in the comment section. Put it in the chat. I really am interested to hear what you guys' reaction would be if you were in that situation, because everyone has a different reaction of what they say they would do, but no one really knows what they would do until you're in that type of situation. Now, let's get to shaming her game, man. She don't care. She don't give a shit. She's probably on some like some different she's probably on some different Facebook, a different name. Probably. She's doing some undercover shit. I don't even think she cares, to tell you the truth. I don't think she cares. Crazy. Let's get to...
This is Anthony Luciano Raimondi. I just wanted to tell you that I got one more treatment this Thursday, and I'll be up and running hopefully soon. As long as my blood work comes back good, I should be up and running soon. But I'll be with Staxx in a couple of days. We'll do a show. So he'll post it. You tune in, and matter of fact, you can even write in if you want. But no idiots, please. No idiots write in. No morons write in. Only if you're legitimate write in, or you listen. Anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. Stay safe. Be well. Be careful of that COVID virus, and I'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bam. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So you got, there's a message from the big guy himself. Oh, my God. There's bound to be mind-body footage, dash cam footage, traffic cam footage. Probably, right? All over the place. The whole town probably has footage of this chick. Guaranteed. Probably. So he's doing good. So just keep Raimondi in your prayers, and hopefully everything comes out good for him. I know there's a lot of people who really like Raimondi. I happen to be one of those people, and we're rooting for you, man. So let's get back to the stories, shall we? There's a lot to cover. Have you guys heard of this story? 4 robots kill 29 people. The scientists inside a Japanese lab. A robot. Crazy. I got a video I'm going to play you about this robot. Okay, let me get this. All right, watch this close. It's pretty crazy.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed
Brandy, what's
29
up, man?
humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And this next sentence this is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years.
Crazy.
This is serious, Linda, but you're never going to hear about this in the news.
A lot of viewers were skeptical, while others did not rule out the possibility of this actually happening. So I found this clip from an interview she did after the fact, where she explains in detail how she got this information and who was the whistleblower that actually conveyed this news to her in the first place. In the clip I'm about to show you, she also talks about how Elon Musk knew about these kinds of experiments and how he warned the world before this incident even happened.
July, August of 2017. In the prior year, I had been communicating with a Marine who had retired from the Marines but was working special forces. And he had been communicating to me about a number of ET-related revelations, secrets that he and a team of special forces were involved with. And so he had kept in touch with me, usually through short texts, or every once in a while, he would call and say, you're tapped, I'm tapped. I'm only going to speak for, and it would be like 30 seconds or a minute, and then hang up. And I understood why, and that was what we were doing. Well, it was in August of 2017. The phone rang. I picked it up. I knew his voice. Can't stay on the line long, but I want you to know that this week, which would have been I think second week of August 2017, in Japan, 29 humans were killed in a laboratory that was producing militarized robots by the Japanese for warfare. And then he went on to explain what he had learned, because they're in these units, that something like that would happen, they would receive information. And he said that the story was the 4 militarized robots were being made to be autonomous warriors, and that they don't know why, but the 4 rebelled or acted autonomously, and as they acted autonomously, they killed 29 humans in this lab, and whoever was left on the human side began pulling, this is the way he said, they began pulling the robots apart. They got 2 of them completely disassembled. We're working on the 3rd, and then the analysis later was what happened with the 4th. The 4th was communicating with a satellite that they were teaching these militarized robots how to communicate with the satellites to get information on missions, and that the 4th robot was now extending up to the satellite and was searching for information about how to make itself stronger to take on apparently the remaining humans. What did they do exactly to that 4th? I don't know, but I understand they took it apart. Would they ever put them back together? So now we're up to a point in August of 2017 where I'm hearing a story that is shocking, and I would say is like a warning that hits you out of the blue, that if in August of 2017, 4 militarized robots being taught to be autonomous could do that in a lab, it made Elon Musk only 2 months before, in June, at the Rhode Island Governors Association meeting. There were 33 governors from the United States, and Elon Musk was one of the invited speakers. And when they sat him down in a chair and they started asking him his perspective as being head of Tesla and SpaceX, he said,
Teresa, what's up? Finn
greatest
Feek,
problem
what's
that
up?
scares me the most is artificial intelligence. And he said statements like, people don't understand that the robots, they are not going to need sleep. They're not going to need sick days. They're going to be able to do everything better, faster, more efficiently, and smarter than humans. And then he went on and he said, I am convinced that artificial intelligence right now is an existential threat to this planet.
The meeting she mentioned in the clip was the National Governors Association meeting, or the NGA, where the governors of 55 states meet twice a year to discuss issues of national and state importance.
Craziness. You guys hear that? The robot, there was 4 of them. 2 of them started shooting at people. So they started taking the robots apart. They got 2 of them apart. The 3rd one, they were taking it apart, but the 4th one was like talking to the satellite to make itself stronger and put itself back together and put the other ones back together. Now they took those robots apart, but what happens when they put them back together? Do they just start going crazy again? Like, what happens in that situation? Crazy stuff. So I want to show you guys some other things. Here is a couple videos I want to share with you guys. One of them is this guy's in prison, and he's showing his view from his prison cell, and he explains what's going on. So let's get into it, okay? There we go. Can you guys see that?
Okay, let me cut this light off real quick. Hold on. Put y'all up on game. Hold on. Okay.
Can you guys see that?
Trip out. Let me put y'all up on game. Peep game. Y'all see that cop right there, right? Let me zoom in on that weird ass nigga. Nigga, for $9,500, that nigga bringing you a phone, any type of phone you want. So I guess, he a op, but, nigga fucking on some business shit. Peep game.
This dude's crazy, man.
See that little chocolate bitch right there? East side, 1,500, she letting you fuck. But she kind of weird, though. She be putting, times on it, only 10 minutes and shit, her and her pussy weird. Anyways, that nigga with the hat right there, that's the plug for McDonald's. You want the Big Mac, you feel me? The McRib, that nigga got you, you know what I'm saying? He a op though, but he go hitting it with the McDonald's. Now that bitch ass nigga sitting next to him, he work with that nigga right there. He sell you the phone. That nigga come and take it from you and then resell it. Now them 2 bitch ass niggas right there, those is the straight cops. Nigga about to put my phone up, grind face, nigga.
He's not playing. Listen.
Let me out.
He's not playing. That's all real right there. He's in a cell. He's telling you what it is. I want you guys to check out this. Look at this. Look at that, man. It's crazy. I don't think that would be possible. Go subscribe to Grindface. This is a dope Instagram. It's wild stuff. I got another one with the dude in the prison. So let's get to it. Watch this one. This one's funny.
This is my sign-off letter for Kate Norman. Girl, if you don't see me on Instagram no more, it's because the ops got me. They 1,000 thick in front of my cell right now. And the nigga nervous as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But just know, I'm coming. Just hold on, I'm coming home. Coming home, yeah.
Grindface TV.
Grindface.
So what happened was this dude started recording the guards. He's telling the truth. So he's recording the guards and he's telling the people who are watching, he's telling them the whole inside scoop on what's going on in the prison. This guy brings the phones. This guy brings McDonald's. This guy steals the phones back, and this guy sells them back to us. So his video went viral all over the place. Everybody's seen it. So the next video I showed you, I'll bring you back. Let's watch it again. We'll watch the first video and then we'll go back and watch the second video. The second video is the police raiding his cell. They're coming to raid his cell to take the cell phone because he went viral on this first video. So let's go watch the first video.
Y'all up on game. Let me cut this light off real quick. Hold on. Put y'all up on game. Hold on. Okay. Kill this light. Trip out. Let me put y'all up on game.
Bro, cell phones weren't a thing when I was in prison
see
either.
That cop
like,
right there,
if
right?
you had a cell phone, like
nigga, for $9,500, that nigga bringing you a phone, any type of phone you want. So
$9,500. That's $10,000 for a cell phone. Some people can be bought, like with money. It doesn't matter. Their morals go out the window, and morals don't matter sometimes. And they'll risk their job, their freedom. Obviously, these cops, they're probably going to be under investigation because of this guy. And he's sitting in a box right now with no cell phone and nothing, sitting in a cell with absolutely no entertainment, just because he wanted to put the cops on blast.
Guess, he a op, but, nigga fuck with him on some business shit. Peep game. You see that little chocolate bitch right there? East side, 1,500, she letting you fuck. But she kind of weird, though. She be putting, times on it, only 10 minutes and shit. Her and her pussy weird. Anyways, that nigga with the hat right there, that's the plug for McDonald's. You want the Big Mac, you feel me? The McRib.
They used to bring food in.
You know what I'm saying?
So when I was in prison, they used to bring, I remember this one time, we're sitting in the cell, summertime. It's evening time. And I didn't have a TV yet. I remember this day like it was yesterday. I'm sitting there. I was miserable. I was really miserable. And the guard comes to the cell with a pizza box. And I'm like, what the fuck? Guard has a pizza box. This young woman, she probably in her 20s. She was probably 20 something, 26 maybe. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And I was in Cheshire, MYI in Cheshire, Connecticut. That's where the youthful offenders go. If you go to prison in Connecticut, you're going to Little Cheshire. So that's where I was at this time. And the guard comes and they pop our cell and she has a pizza box in her hand. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she hands it to my cellie. I'm like, what the fuck? And the door shuts. And she goes, make sure you give him one. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? And he gives me a piece of pizza, big ass pizza. And I'm like, my mind's blown. I've been in jail already for 18 months probably at this time. It's a piece of pizza. I'm like, holy shit. So we're eating the pizza in the cell. And She ended up bringing a Subway a couple times, and that was it. She just brought us food a couple times, but that was cool. Never forget that. They fed us McDonald's 3 times a day in the regular jail back in the day. They still feed you that when you go to like a police station and you're in lockup. So last time I went to jail, last time I got arrested or went to jail was about 5 years ago. So usually when I get arrested, it's usually on the weekend or Friday, and it's probably usually a holiday on Monday. So I usually get arrested Thursday night or something like that, or I'll get arrested like Friday afternoon, and I won't go to court till like Tuesday morning, and I'll be stuck in a holding cell for that whole time. This one time, I was arrested in Waterbury, Connecticut for possession of narcotics, and they held me in a cell from that Friday afternoon. I think it was around 5 o'clock. I'd gotten out of work and I was going to get heroin. And what happened was I had my distant cousin pick me up to bring me to go get the drugs, right? So I'm in his car and we're driving up the road. We go and get the drugs and we're driving back to my town. And it's like 2 towns over away from my town. And we're driving back and I'm doing the drugs as we're driving. And I do the dope and I don't remember anything else. Next thing I remember, I'm getting handcuffed by the police. And I have no clue what happened. So I'm like coming to, waking up, and they're handcuffing me. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like confused because I had no clue what was going on. And so he's like, you're going to jail. And I'm like, for what? He's like, for this. And he's holding it in my face. I'm like, how'd you get that? I'm like, where's my ride? He goes, your ride pushed you out of the car. I'm like, what? They pushed me. He pulled over, opened the car, and pushed me out of the passenger side on a busy street. And I just rolled out into the road, and he just drove away. And I was waking up to getting handcuffed by the police. So they put me in an ambulance, and they bring me to the hospital because they Narcaned me, right? And so I was really sick when they Narcaned me, and I was throwing up. And I remember I got caught with 7 bags of dope that day. I did 3 bags of dope. I was on my way back, and I did 3 bags, and I overdosed. And so, yeah, Tim's police super mean to you. That sucks. So, keep watching, bro. Maybe you'll learn something. So I wake up to the police handcuffing me, put me in an ambulance, strapping me to the bed, handcuffing me to the bed, and I go to the hospital. Shitty hospital in Waterbury, Connecticut. People out there know. I think it was St. Mary's. And so I go out there, and they sit me in this room, like, one of those exam rooms they put you in as you're going to get seen, for probably 5 hours. I'm sitting in that room handcuffed to the bed, and I'm throwing up, and I'm sick, and it was miserable. And I kept telling him, I'm good, let's go to jail, I don't care. But I kind of wish I milked it a little more, But so what ended up happening is I'm thinking it's no big deal at the time. I'm just like, whatever, it's no big deal. They're going to let me go. Little did I know. No, it was a big deal. So they bring me to the jail, to Waterbury police station. And they processed me through the jail, and they put me in this cell in the back. And I think they like forgot about me or something, because they didn't never came and check on me all weekend. Like, what the fuck? Like, they like put me in the back closet cell and just left me in there. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Come to find out, my bond is $50,000 for possession. So I guess the first charge they hit me with felony possession of narcotics, which is, if you get caught with narcotics in Connecticut, hey, Cindy, don't be sorry I went through that. I'm not sorry I went through that. I'm blessed at everything I've been through, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go through that shit. And the reason I'm trying to explain this situation to you guys is because maybe somebody out there can hear this situation. They don't have to go through the same thing, because it really sucked. My life was just a shithole. It was going nowhere. I was miserable. I hated everything about my life and myself. And it's just not who I am anymore. And I'm blessed to be where I'm at. And I want to help people and try to show people that there's better out there. There's better life. You can reach for your goals and you can achieve them. So what ended up happening is they kept me in the cell all weekend, and I go to court. Now, by the time I get to court, I'm like, and because I had a habit by this time. So they let me out, and they tell me I have to go to some counseling classes. I got to bring the certificates for that, and all this other shit, and then they'll figure out what they're going to do, right? But I have a drug habit, so I'm like, I'm not going to do any of this shit. I'm not doing none of this. My thought, I'm getting out of this courtroom. I'm going right to my guy that I just seen, and I'm going to do the same thing. That's the way I was thinking, and it's just the way it was. And so they let me out, and I did just that. I went right to the package store, started drinking. I went all this craziness. So it gets really crazy. I'm trying to think. So they let me out. I go back to doing the same shit, right? Now I go to these classes, you know, the counseling classes, try to appease the court. They say, go to these classes, get an assessment, and we'll tell you what's going on, like if you need to do this or whatever. So that's what I did. Went through the classes. I'm like, listen, I don't got a problem, to her, to the lady, talking to her like, poor me, you know, the world's against me and all this. I shouldn't be in trouble and blah, blah, blah. Just like every addict in the world does. And the difference between me then and now is people say they're in recovery and all that, and that's cool. Whatever works for you. But I'm not in recovery. I have recovered from drug addiction. I'm not in the grips of it anymore. I really was a lost soul at one point. I didn't want to continue anymore. And I finally reached a place where I love who I am as a person. I love what I do. And I want to change it for the world. So anyone that has negative things to say about me or to me, it's cool. Just come say it to my face. And if you really got negative things, I'll help you out, you know? I've really got no ill will or malice towards anybody. So what ended up happening in this case is I was hanging around some people who weren't so savory back then. And I thought it was a good idea. like all addicts do, I thought it was a good idea to bring this girl who was my friend at the time. We're still friends, but to bring her with me to court. And she's actively using heroin. And my bright idea, bring her to court. Bring her to court. She's like gone, like this, all that stuff. And right in the courtroom, right in front of the judge and the all of them, prosecutor, judge, everybody. I was like, I'm going to jail. This is it. It's over. So I go in front of the judge and they're like, oh, there's a problem. So I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm thinking, damn, I'm screwed. So they bring me back and I'm talking to them. I give them the assessment and all that. And this isn't the last time I was arrested either. I'll get into all that as it goes along. And I'll explain the last time. I'll explain the first time, last time, and all the times in between. So, Tiny Tim is his street name. I know who he is. Yeah, he used to be at the skate shop in Bristol all the time. He was friends with one of my ex-girlfriends. But anyway, so I end up bringing her with me, right? And they end up dropping it. And I'm like, they told me, don't ever come to this town and buy drugs here again. And there was like a stipulation I had to sign if I got in trouble within a certain amount of time, like a year, whatever it was. I'm like, yeah, look, I'm out. You never see me again. And I've never been back there again. And but it continued. All the craziness, it continued. But thank God I was able to pull myself out. And you can too. There's definitely help out there. Just reach out. If you need help, reach out. There's people out there that are willing to help you. You can reach out to me, Facebook, Instagram. If you need to go to a program, if there's anything I can do and connect you to the right people, I will do that. And everybody does things in their own way. Recovery doesn't have to be a certain way, doesn't have to be laid out a certain way. You don't have to relapse. It's not a part of sobriety. All this shit people say, oh, it's a part of sobriety. No, it's not. Because there's other people who got sober and didn't relapse and got through it. There's other people who have gone through situations and don't have to run to the alcohol and drugs. And I'm at that point in life where I don't have to do that anymore. Do I think about alcohol and drugs? Yes, of course I do. I'm only human. I have weaknesses. I have strong points. And the only difference between me now and me then, I would automatically run to the drugs and alcohol back then. Now, I'm able to process them thoughts and get through it and not have to run to it. But definitely, man, things are looking good for the future. Everett, what's up, man? How are you? Never have to do it again. Never have to do it alone again. That's right. To anybody out there who's going through it, you don't have to go through it. You don't have to go to prison again. Your family doesn't have to see you on drugs. You don't have to be that person anymore. A lot of people on here seems like they're having like what would you call it? Napoleon complex. I know I'm a short dude, but I don't have that complex. Everyone's a tough guy. Everyone's a gangster. I was not a gangster. I was in a gang. I was a lost kid that was looking for acceptance. And that's it. My glass is always half full. Sure, the cops made you sign paperwork. Don't buy drugs in your town. If that happens, Staxx equals Johnny. Like, yeah, that's right, Tim. Thanks for watching. Make sure your family subscribes too, you fucking asshole. You're great, man. I'm not even going to put you in the bathroom. I want you to keep watching, man. Because I got some good shows coming up for your ass. But anyway. It's cool. Tim's a gangster. We'll let him be a gangster. But anyway, you got enough out of me today. I'll give you another story tomorrow. I got a good one for you. So when I got out of prison, when I was 21 years old in 1999, I went to work framing houses. And I went to work, framing houses. And I'm going to tell you the story on how I went to work framing houses for a guy, and he taught me how to read the tape measure, how to do everything from bottom to top of a house. And he ended up getting into you would say, a mortality accident, something like that, crippling accident. And things changed forever a few years later. And I'll break that down tomorrow. So if you guys like this kind of content, come through tomorrow and hear more stories. If you guys like this, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. There's a lot more stories to come. Till next time. Peace. Here, let me play that video of Raimondi one more time so you guys can get his message that he had for you guys. And he wanted me to tell you guys, you guys are all great. What the hell's the damn message? Oh, here it is.
Everybody, this is Anthony Luciano Raimondi. I just wanted to tell you that I got one more treatment this Thursday, and I'll be up and running hopefully soon. As long as my blood work comes back good, I should be up and running soon. But I'll be with Staxx in a couple of days. We'll do a show. So he'll post it. You tune in.
Hey, yo, Tim, keep watching. Keep watching. It's getting too hot. Time to quit, Staxx. Don't want your videos getting analyzed. Hey, you can analyze them all you want, cocksucker.
And matter of fact, you can even write in if you want.
This is for you, Tim.
Please, no idiots write in. No morons write in. Only if you're legitimate write in or, you listen. Anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. Stay safe, be well. Be careful of that COVID virus. And I'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, say hi to Scuzzo for me in the bathroom, okay? Because Tim's in the bathroom now, scrubbing the toilet. I don't see him in here talking shit no more. I appreciate you all taking the time, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, tell your friends about it. It's about to get real. Things are going to get crazy. Peace.